So I was just thinking, if I were to come to Russia not on a super cool month-long trip, and I wanted to see theater, how would I know where to look? So I'm going to try to tell you about some of my favorite places to see theater in Moscow. Here we go. So my favorite place, hands down, to see theater in Moscow is at the Gogol Center. The Gogol Center is run by Serebrennikov, who's currently under house arrest. So there's a lot of politics going on around the theater right now. But the productions are fantastic. I got to see Midsummer there, which was an incredible kind of reconstruction of the text where each of 5 acts focused on a different strata of the social sphere. So there was the gods, the rulers, the lovers, and the poor people. And it was so beautifully imagined. It was so playful, but also so pointed. We also saw The Misanthrope there and Mitya's Love, and both of those shows as well had a extremely experimental air, but done in a professional way that just made me think that theater can be both challenging, new, and professional all at the same time. And that was one of my favorite things about the Gogol Center. So if you're looking for things that are challenging, that are new, and professional, go to the Gogol Center. The second place I would recommend going to, if you have some time in Moscow and you want to see some good theater, is go to the Center for Directors and Playwrights. It's a incredible place where they're doing a lot of really experimental new work. And one of the shows we saw there, Tsar Zoltan, was a movement theater piece. So it was almost entirely done through sound and through movement rather than text. And it was beautifully constructed. And it's still like a lab production, so it's still in development, if that makes sense. But the performers are absolutely talented as whatever, I can't say that, as all get out, and their physical strength is impressive. They're all so musically talented, and it's just a beautiful place. We also saw Moscow Open City there, which is a devised kind of a collage piece about a number of different experiences, including politics, including sex life, including drugs, and terrorism, all in Moscow. And it's just a beautifully imagined show with an EDM soundtrack, and again, just visually and orally an incredible experience, while also having very pointed messages that are something I'm coming to expect from Russia. Okay, so this last one's a little contentious, I will admit. We saw 2 shows at the Theater of Nations, and they were both good, but not both incredible. Okay, so we saw Blue Bluebird, which is a children's theater piece, and the production value for this piece was amazing. I mean, the costumes were so imaginatively rendered. There were things like 3 scoops of ice cream in an ice cream cone being a person. There was a giant teddy bear that like inflated when he ate. There was a red Tyrannosaurus Rex inflatable character. There was this scene where these block soldiers fought each other, and when they cut off each other's limbs, people in black morph suits behind them, who we didn't know were there, like picked up their limbs and like made them move like they were slow-mo falling to the ground. I mean, it was just so brilliantly done. It was so beautiful, so heartwarming, entirely enjoyable the entire time. Did not blink because I was afraid I was going to miss something. Absolutely bubbling and giggling coming out as an adult, so I'm sure for the kids it was even better. Then we also saw Hamlet Collage at the Theater of Nations, which is based off the Shakespeare Hamlet, and it's Lepage's piece. He's known for like Cirque du Soleil and other very technical things like that. It was impressive as all get out. It's a one-man show. One plus a body double who at a couple times speaks. A little iffy on that part, but it's impressive. There's this cube in the middle that kind of just moves around, and he jumps in and out of it, and the projector projects onto this cube totally different scenes. And so we get all of these really cool things. He also does a number of different tricks to double himself, like using 2 cameras to talk to himself, or flipping a table around to be on opposite sides of a table. Very technically impressive show. Delivery-wise, it wasn't a great production of Hamlet. I didn't really get the story, but if you're looking for something that's just gonna wow you in production value, it might be worth checking out the Theater of Nations. So those are just a couple of my thoughts on great places to go to theater in Moscow. There's lots more out there. Definitely, it's more of a follow a director than follow a theater culture. So if you can see anything by Serebrennikov, you can see anything by Batusev, if you can see anything by Krymov, definitely take the opportunity to do that. Oh, Ginkas too, because they're incredible directors, and really it's kind of a director-driven show here. So follow them, but if you don't know how to find their stuff, definitely check out the Gogol Center, the Center for Directors and Playwrights, and if you like crazy tech stuff, definitely the Theater of Nations. Thanks, and have a good time seeing some theater.